Hello and welcome to my channel. This is episode 31 of the Renault Master Camper conversion. This is also part 2 of fitting a shower room into a camper van. Now we have the room, most of the walls are covered. We need to put some lining on these little panels. But basically, I've done this 5 months ago. I got it watertight just to have a bucket wash because I went on a trip around Scandinavia. So it worked as we wanted to, but I didn't have enough time to finish it. So now it's time to actually get the shower fitted and obviously just finish up the little bits and bobs and any other jobs that I need to do, like the shower door, so we can get an actual working shower. When I built this wall, I already planned that the shower was going here, so there's 2 cavities that run all the way down so I can get the pipe work in there. Now obviously I'm only using the thin wood because we want to save space and weight. So I've already worked out where the shower was going to go. Now I've just drilled the holes. I'm actually a plumber, so I am going to be doing it as I would in a house, but still using the 12mm pipe. This helps build better pressure. I'm going to be using this. I paid about 15 quid for it, I think, on Amazon. And I already have a shower. I say I'm a plumber, so I have a brand new shower bar. I don't know where I got it from, I just have it. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to start by fitting this in here. Now we've got the holes, so this actually goes on before you do the wall covering. So the way I'm going to get around that is I've cut a 45 degree down there and I didn't get all the way through, so I'm going to have to cut it with a multi-tool. I'm going to remove this piece. I've already taken the screws out, and then I'll make another piece because obviously we have the thickness of the blade missing now. I'll make another piece similar to this and I will then put that in there so that I can screw these two together using this cut mark that I made. So I can just put a screw through there to rejoin it, and then obviously I'll screw back in there. I need to just basically cut out the back of this, cut a little slot in there so that I can get the shower. So I'm going to proceed to do that now, and I'll show you how it's coming along. I've just dry fitted this just to make sure everything fits. So I had a bit of a change of plan. I did make this block here, but I had to slide it on the side, which I obviously can't do with this. I also just used the original piece that I cut out, and once that was screwed on, I popped it down and I couldn't push it in because it was too long. So I cut a bit off the top, which makes this gap bigger, but it's not a problem. I can just slide some 5mm ply in there and I can screw these and join them together. So now that's dry fitted. I have fitted the bar and just lined everything up. I have these to go on here. So now I'm happy that everything's going to go together. I'm going to take these apart, I'm going to put PTFE tape on here, and I'm going to put it all together, and I'm going to put this back on just like that. And I'm not going to seal it yet. So once it's ready, I'll seal there with silicone, and I'll also seal there just so we can get it right in there. And it'll probably come out a bit more messy on this side, but I can just push it all in and get it all right in that hole, just to make sure it's completely sealed. And I can't really do much after that. I have the fittings to go on here, which is a plastic screw, 1/2" BSP, and it reduces down to a 12mm push fit. So I have the pipe, I just don't have the inserts, and I also don't have the elbows that are going to go at the bottom and come through into the kitchen unit. But I have everything else, so I'm going to get this all fitted now properly as it is, and then when everything else comes, I'll be able to just put the pipes in and test it, and then once it's tested, I will properly fit it. So I had to remove the shower anyway, so I thought I might as well seal all these holes in there. So when I come to test the unit, before I silicone it up, no water's going to get inside that panel. And then I've made a little plate to go on here because it's recessed, so this is going to support the shower bar mixer, and then I'm going to glue it back in. And then I will do the PTFE and just leave it like that, and then when I test it, I will see if there's any leaks. If there's no leaks, then I'll seal around both sides, and then it's done. I've got one done. So when you're doing PTFE on these male threads, you're gonna have to wind it 15 wraps clockwise, so that way around. I once had a shower that kept leaking every time I do it. It was leaking, but the thread felt quite loose for it threading it in, so I decided to put some PTFE paste in as well. And since I've done that, I have never had a leak, so I do that every time now. So yeah, 15 wraps of PTFE. These feel quite tight in here, but I still just do this every time. And once it's done, it pushes the PTFE paste to the back, and I'll just put my finger in there and just get all the loose stuff out, because we don't want that coming loose and clogging up the shower. don't know if you can't really see because it's dark, but I've already done it to that one. So I'm going to get this one on now, then I'll put the shower on, because these are adjustable, so they're offset, if you can see there. The thread is to one side, so it just gives you a little, if you turn it, it gives you adjustment. So I tighten this all the way up, and I think I have to loosen it off a little bit for it to line up. So sorry, I've got something in my throat. Yeah, I'm going to just get this on, line up the shower, because this PTFE paste actually goes off, I think. So once it's fresh, it's like sticky, and then it will go like kind of like silicone. It will go hard and rubbery, not hard, but like it will go rubbery. So I'll leave that on there, and then when I've got this stuff, this will be set, and I'll be able to test it. That's now fitted with the PTFE tape. So once I confirmed that it's not leaking, I will then seal around here, put these little caps on this pipe, and seal around this side. I've also just put these little caps on there, so we're just ready to pipe it up now. I had some ply, but I only had 6mm, not 5mm, so couldn't get it in there. So I'll do it another day, but I've glued it on anyway, so that's going to be solid. So yeah, I'm just waiting for these little fittings to come in, and I can get this all piped up and test it. While we're waiting for the plumbing bits, we will finish this cupboard. So I'm going to turn this little bit into a cupboard. I've already made a little start, so I put the fan wall liner up there. And when I bought this van, it had a box built in here, made out of aluminium. So it's already cut to the right shape. I just cut off the side, and I've used it here. So I'm going to screw it on here. Just it's level with that. I'm just going to make sure that it's flush and flat with this wall. So I've got a bit of this offcut, so I'll put it over there, and then I'll put a ruler across it, make sure it's all flat, and then I'll screw it to the base and screw it here as well. I might have to put some wood or something on there, so then I can finish this wall the same. And then I'll probably put some thermal liner or something on that side there just to tidy that up, but that's part of this cupboard, so I'm going to leave that for now. I'm just going to get that screwed in, that divider piece. I had a bit of fiberglass from when I cut out the roof vent, so I've used that there because it's got this little gap here. I want to put thermal liner over it, but there's nothing to stick it to there, and I want to kind of seal it off. So yeah, that's what I've done. Now I've got a bit of thermal liner, so I'll stick it on there, and it should sort of sit flush with that black upstand at the back there. That thermal lining stuck on there quite nicely. I've set this metal back so it's in line with the wall, so it's 10mm step there, so I need to put something over that. It's not majorly important, but the reason I stepped it back was because there was bolts in it, and there's holes in it as well, so I thought I could put something over it, but not yet decided what I'm going to do with there. And this bit's a bit awkward as well. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Probably going to put a piece of timber or frame here, close that bit off there, have a little door in here, and then something similar here, just some bits of wood on there, and then just a board over that, just to close that edge off, and try and tidy this up, make a little cupboard. And I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to do here. Probably going to put a shelf here, so yeah, coming out here. If I put it level, we can use this shelf for something, I don't know, and then I'll just put something over here and box this in just to make it look a bit neater than what it is. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment, just trying to figure it out. What I've decided here is just gonna do the same as what I've done at the back. Just got a bit of that fiberglass, I'm gonna stick it on there. It's a bit of a rough cut, but it doesn't really matter. It's only just something to stop the insulation from flapping around. So I'm going to glue that on there, and I can put some of this thermal lining. It's going to only be inside a cupboard, so that's probably the best thing to do. And that insulates it, stops condensation forming, and it'll just give it some sort of covering. I don't want to put too much weight on there. It's just a cupboard. There'll be a door on it, so it'll just be for bathroom storage stuff and toilet rolls and stuff like that. So that will do me, I think. I'm going to get it done and show you how it looks. So that bit is glued in. It's not the neatest job, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's only to glue the thermal lining to. I did try and look at covering this all with plastic, but as you can see how far that kicks out. So then it's just going to be sloped or unless I bring it out like this, straighten it out, and I've got to build a framework, adds more weight to the van, and then I lose sort of cupboard space, and I just thought it's not really worth it. Just to try and get a flat sidewall there. There's also an aerial here, so for the radio, so I don't want to block that in, so I just thought this would be the best option for me. And now I have made the second piece of the framework. So the second piece, the next piece I need to do. That will just go in there, and once I get it in the actual right place. So I just try and do it one-handed, and then it just brings it flush with this wall, so I can screw a batten on here to build this opening out for this doorway, and then I can also put this batten across here and screw it to the front of this to create the support for the shelf that comes out here. It's all a bit of a fiddly job. It's all weird shapes and stuff like that. So I'm just going to try and cover it all over, making it as light as possible and making the best use of space. So it's a tricky job, but I'm sure it'll look alright when it's done, and then we'll have a nice bit of storage up there for the bathroom stuff. So I fitted this block in here, so I'm going to be able to put some cladding over this, and also I'll put a bar across here that screws onto there, so then this supports this shelf here. I'll also put a block there, and then I've got another piece which goes in here. I'll show you in a second. So now, because of this bit has some lips on it, so that bit there, it's on the other side, I can stick some cladding on here, box that in, down here, box that in, and then this bit here will go in like that, and then there will be probably I've got some of this board, so I'll try and put this grey board over here, and then we have a door here, and then this is just probably going to have white cladding over this. I'm just going to get some thin cladding, 3mm I think it is, which I'm going to glue to this. So it'll be a flat bit there, and another flat bit there, and obviously I said earlier about the shelf, which comes up to about here. So then we've got a shelf there, and make use of that space instead of a bit going down like that. We couldn't really do anything with that space, but if it's straight, and then we've got a shelf, and then behind it will be the cupboard where we can store everything. But I can't screw this bit yet because it's going to get in my way for sticking this insulation on, so I'm just basically waiting for that insulation to come through the posts, and I can stick that on, build this little framework, and then go and get this cladding that I'm going to do, clad that, and then the door. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the door yet. I'll figure that out. Okay, so my pipe and my fittings have arrived. I already had some blue pipe, so I've got 2 meters of this red, which is more than enough. So the hot's normally on the left, cold's on the right, and because this is back to front, so the hot is on the right. I didn't really think about that. So I ordered the hot pipe, the red one. I already had the blue, but there's a possibility I don't have enough blue, and it's only going to be just, but we shall see. I'm going to get this piped up now. So I started by measuring the height of these two pipes, or the pipe clips. The hot is 80, the blue cold is 50, and then I have done centre marks here. So these are the entry holes for the pipes. So I've done them big because if someone ever wants to change this unit, and I need to do this all from here, if anyone wants to change the units, they can do it easily. It'll just be disconnecting these fittings and then, yeah, copying that. So I'm trying to make this easy for anyone who wants to work on it in the future, as I always do with my work. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to get this piped up, and hopefully I'll have enough cold pipe to do it. A couple of things I forgot to say in that clip before I get started with this. Always use these pipe inserts on plastic pipe. These help support the pipe and keep it rigid, as well as form it to the right shape, just so you don't get any distorted shapes in there and leaks. And then the second thing I wanted to say, I don't know why it's not focusing, is always mark the depth of your fitting. So there's normally like a line, it's normally to where them two corners meet. So there's a line anyway, so mark that, and then you know that you've pushed it all the way in, and the job is done properly. So I'm going to get this all together, and I'll show you how it looks after and explain anything I need to. Just something quick, I just mentioned the pipe inserts, which are them there, and this is a Rothenberg pipe cutter. I'm actually a plumber, so I've got a decent one, and yeah, I've just cut this pipe, and it, I don't know if you can see, but it is slightly distorted. So when I put these pipe inserts, that will make that correct shape, and we know we're going to get a good seal on these fittings. So my pipe work is now done. Now I like using these little T's, because obviously this, instead of having another piece of fitting, using like a plastic T, the same as these elbows, but a T. I use this, that can screw straight onto there, and we can fit these on there. I think that's a neater job than trying to have another bit of pipe coming out of another socket. And then these had really long pipes anyway, so yeah, that's what I've done there. It's a good little tip. I like to try and keep things neat and nice looking. So yeah, for this one as well, I do have another elbow, but because it's such a small wall, I have ordered a spigot elbow, which is basically only has one socket, and on the other side is the same diameter as the pipe, so it just pushes into there and you get a much tighter bend on it. So once that comes, I'll cut this off, I'll connect that up, and then yeah, I can test it. It's a bit of a shame. I wanted to do a pressure test at least. I can't run the shower yet because I don't actually have a shower head on or a door. I can run the shower head by holding it into the bottom of the shower tray. Couldn't think what it's called then. But yeah, I've ordered a door. I've got bits and bobs, so I want to get this done. So I'll crack on with that while I'm waiting for the spigot elbow to come, and then I'll get that done in a couple of days. My insulation comes today, so I've got this piece done. So I just sort of cut it to this shape, and then I stuck the top part in and took the backing paper off half of it, and then I rolled it down and sort of scribed the knife around the shape of this. It worked all right, apart from here it tore it a little bit, but it's okay. So now it's all sort of flat walls, all silver in there. There's only a cupboard, but it's insulated, and this this insulation is waterproof, water resistant. So yeah, it won't degrade by getting wet, because it's going to be a bathroom. Although there's going to be a door on here, it might get a bit steamy in here. So yeah, I think that was the best option to try and put on there. To try and build something in there, it's going to add more weight to the van. It's not really worth it. So I'm happy with that finishing like that. So now that's done, I can carry on with building this framework. But I can't completely build this framework because I'm going to have to move this wall over, because the door I've got is one of the doors, tambour doors on tracks, and I want the track on the outside. So I only lightly stuck this on because I had a feeling that I might have to take this wall down. So yeah, I'm going to multi-tool this off, take this wall down, get this track in, and then I'll move that wall that way a little bit. I'm just on that side, so this track can run inside here. Because you basically want the track to be inside the bathroom, because obviously if you shower, the door's going to be wet and the water's going to drip down. So we want all the tambour door in the bathroom, and then this wall will be here. So when the door's closed, you'll see the side. When the door's open, the tambour door will be covering this. So that's my job for tomorrow, I think.